going on, everybody? It's Matt with Hitmen Sports here. January 9th. Got a next episode of our podcast, so just throw it over here to Sean and Tommy to say what's up to you.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
How are we doing today?
Yep. So this week, I'll just touch on quickly here. We got the only real release coming out this week is the next version of Prizm, the no huddle version. So you got the disco parallels in that. Pretty cool looking cards on that one. So it's only like we were talking about earlier here. It's only 4 less autos total compared to the hobby version. You just get 20 boxes in this case, so it's one auto a box, and the exact same amount of parallels, a little bit cheaper price point. So we'll have some of that coming up this weekend for you. It's a Friday release, so we will have that either Friday or Saturday for you. Starting tonight on eBay, we do have 2 more breaks of Prizm, 2 half-case breaks. One ends tonight, one ends tomorrow night, both at 8 o'clock. So be sure to check that out if you're interested, and thank you guys who joined in last week. So that's what's going on for the eBay breaks for this week, and I'll let Tommy tell you about the Whatnot breaks.
Yeah, so last week we got off 3 cases of Prizm. Definitely was a really nice week. It was actually our biggest week so far yet on Whatnot. We had some definitely great cases, but we're looking forward to a little bit more fire this week. So we got 2 more cases of the Prizm, hopefully one for Wednesday, Thursday, and then 1 more for Friday, and then by Saturday we should be into the Prizm No Huddle. It's definitely a break that I wouldn't miss out on. Like Matt was saying, the value of this break I think is just better. Especially with all the parallels just being lower numbered than what's coming out of the hobby. Definitely take your shot on the No Huddle and come check that break out on Saturday.
Yep. So yeah, that'll pretty much end what we got there for the releases and the breaks for the week. And I'm going to throw it over to Sean to start the picks segment of the week and recap what happened last week.
All right, so last week Matt and I went 4-2. Tommy went 5-1. That put Matt and I at 21-15 on the season. Tommy's at 22-14, so it's a 1 game separating everybody here. So overall, a really good numbers so far. And we're going to go right into Super Wildcard Weekend. We're going to pick 6 games here. We're going to start with Cleveland at Houston. Who do you got, Matt?
So this week I'm going to take Cleveland on this one. I think Houston is a very good team. Stroud's been playing lights out so far, but Cleveland's defense is just ridiculous right now. So I'm going to give the edge to them with Joe Flacco starting at quarterback. Never thought you would have said this about 6 weeks ago, but he's got the veteran presence. You know, he's been there, done that in the playoffs. I think this Stroud is going to be great. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him, but it's just he's still a rookie. So I'm going to have to go with the veteran presence of Flacco, and I mean, they're going to edge it out in a close game, maybe like a 20-17, something like that. I don't think it's going to be very high scoring. So I'm going to take the Browns on that one.
Yeah, and I'm not going to disagree that I do think Cleveland is the better team here. I just think that Stroud's going to take that leap on Saturday. I think the game is correct.
Yes, Saturday
at 3:30.
Yeah,
4:30.
I think that Stroud's just going to come up huge in this game. I think that his superpower is not turning the ball over. So I think he goes into Cleveland, doesn't turn the ball over, has a great game, keeps it low scoring, just like Matt said, and gives their defense a chance to kind of stay fresh, keep off the field as much, and give that offense their best shot every single time they get the ball. So I'm going to take Houston here in a close game, just like Matt was saying.
Yeah, these 2 teams met just a few weeks ago with Cleveland winning 36-22. It was really 36-7 going into like a couple minutes left in the fourth. But Stroud did not play in that game. That was Case Keenum. But the Houston defense did play in that game, and they got lit up by Cleveland. I don't think it'll be the exact same this time because they just played each other a few weeks ago. But outside of Nico Collins, where's the offense going to come for Houston? That concerns me a little bit because Cleveland's defense is pretty good. And I think just their overall receiving core and their running game is better than Houston's. So I had to give the edge to Cleveland in this one. Plus, I think Stefanski, he's probably going to be a coach of the year.
I would assume so.
This dude kept his team afloat with
like 6
4
different
quarterbacks.
like 4 or 5.
I just feel like Cleveland's due to get a win here. Not taking anything away from Houston. I think they had a really good season, and if they do win, it's great for the hobby. Stroud, getting on to the next round, I think that's huge. I don't think it could happen. It could happen. I just don't think it will. I think Cleveland takes that game. Miami at KC, the night game Saturday night on Peacock. Here you got, Matt.
So for this one, I went with the again, the experience and recency bias here are the Chiefs. I mean, it's hard to pick against them in the playoffs. They've been, the last 4 AFC championships, something like that. So
Every game of every year of Mahomes' career.
Yep. I mean, his only loss is the Super Bowl, right? In the playoffs?
Yeah.
The one Super Bowl? Is that, or did he lose
No,
another
he
one?
lost.
Well, he's lost maybe two games.
No, he lost an AFC championship.
Okay.
game.
Well, anyway, he has a few losses, but
But
he
he's
hasn't
always
lo-
been to the AFC.
He hasn't lost before the AFC Championship round, we'll
Yeah.
say. So, they still somehow are going to get another home game here. They lucked out on that. Everybody thought they'd get their first road game, which they very well could. Still get one, in the coming weeks, but it's supposed to be single digits in Kansas City. I just don't trust Tua in that temperature, although their offense is a lot better than what Kansas City's has been this year. So I'm just going to go again with the team that just keeps on winning in the playoffs with the Chiefs. Other than that, I don't really have any other reasoning except for it's just January is Mahomes time, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
Yeah, and normally I think I'd be going Chiefs here too, and I think that both these teams being equal, the only reason I'm going to go in this direction is because I think their run game is just going to carry them. I think that Achane's going to go out there, have a great day. Hopefully Mostert's back. Jalen Waddle's supposed to be back already. They do such a good job of spreading out the field that the run game almost gets forgotten about. So I just think that they're going to have a tough time stopping the run. The KC defense has been on fire, but it's just not what the Bills defense is, so I don't think it's going to look exactly the same. And the Dolphins were running all over the Bills in the Sunday night game, so I expect to see a lot of that. I'm going to take Miami in kind of a blowout. I don't know. I just think that's how it goes.
Yeah, I'm looking at this game, and I have a hard time seeing Mahomes go one and done. Like we've never seen it. It's just one of those. It's like, man, I just can't see that happening.
Yep.
We're so used to him being there. At KC Arrowhead, which is a very hard place to win. I mean, they gave Kelsey the week off. I think Taylor Swift's wearing him out in the bedroom. Seems like his legs just haven't been there in the last few weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, they gave him a break. So hopefully his legs will be back.
Suck the D's out of him.
Yeah, she's really working that third leg, keeping him tired. I don't know. I don't trust Miami. What are they, 1-5 against teams with winning records this year?
Something like that, yeah.
And that win came
And
against
1-5
Dallas.
against their last 6, too.
Yeah.
It's even worse than that.
Yep.
So I don't know. I can't bet against Andy Reid in this round here. I think Miami, they're the Dallas of the AFC. They can beat up on the lower teams, but when you play a winning team, they're kind of getting punched in the face. So I'm going KC. Pittsburgh at Buffalo. We already know where you're going.
Yep. So I mean, I'm only taking the Steelers because I'm a Steelers fan. I can't pick against them. The only thing I can say is that, again, kind of like how I said about the Michigan game that we just saw yesterday, if they can keep it close and low scoring, I think they have a pretty good shot at winning that. The last few weeks, for whatever reason, Rudolph's been running the offense pretty well in comparison to what we've seen all season. And I think Josh Allen's a turnover machine, so as long as we can capitalize, I'm hoping maybe we can get like a late fumble or a late interception to win it by a field goal. But that's my biggest hopes for that. So other than, like I said, the main reason I'm taking them is because I'm a Steelers fan. So yeah, taking on to the 2 Bills picks here.
Our records would be better if we were not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, in all honesty, I do see exactly what Matt's talking about. I think that Pittsburgh does actually stand a fighting chance if TJ Watt was on the field.
Yeah.
I just feel some type of way about, although I'm not doubting that Pittsburgh's probably got some plug-and-play stud that's sitting on the bench that they're going to be able to sit in there and he's going to get a sack and it is what it is. But
Eric Rowe off the practice squad.
Whoever the hell it is, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, they seem to never miss a beat as far as pass rushers go. But I just think that with Josh Allen being who he is and the way that he's been running that offense, while he's a huge gunslinger, he's going to put up 25 points, 27 points in that game.
Probably
And
30.
I just think, and I just think it's going to be hard for Pittsburgh to do that and keep up that consistency of Mason Rudolph. So I'm going to take Buffalo here. I'm not going to say it's going to be necessarily a big blowout. Pittsburgh's definitely got a lot of heart, and they definitely want to win that game. But I just think it's going to be Josh Allen takes over that game. And I'll tell you right now, I'm probably betting against Buffalo next week. And it's not nothing against them. It's just if they had TJ Watt, I'd probably be taking Pittsburgh here as well.
Hopefully, slaps a brace on that knee that's out there.
That'd be crazy.
That ain't
right?
gonna happen. But.
All right, Bills Nation, where are you at? Because I got Buffalo winning this one. I just don't trust Mason Rudolph. Pittsburgh is a scrappy team. Their defense can be lights out on any given day. But in Buffalo, Bills Mafia is just going to be, it's going to be crazy. There's going to be wings flying all over the field, hot sauce all over the place.
Mike Tomlin through a table.
Yep, he's going to get power bombed through the table. It's just, Bills Mafia is like a whole nother animal when it comes to like a stadium. I just see Buffalo winning that game. Again, unless Josh Allen throws 5 picks, and hey, we might get the upset of the weekend.
He could do that.
He could. He very well could.
He did in the first half the other night.
Yes,
man.
he definitely could. But I think the Bills' defense has been playing lights out. I mean, he just slapped the shit out of the Dolphins this past weekend in Miami. So I think Tua's a better quarterback than Mason Rudolph. And I think the Dolphins have much better skill players than the Steelers do. I have a hard time picking Pittsburgh in this one, so I'm going Buffalo. All right, Green Bay at Dallas. Matt.
So the obvious pick here is Dallas. It's at home. They only undefeated team at home this year. I don't think that the Packers really stand a chance, but like I was telling them earlier before we started this, it would be absolutely hilarious if Green Bay went in there and won.
That would be
because that's the kind of shit that happens in Dallas. They just fall flat in their face in big moments. But I'm still not going to pick against them. If I was putting money on it, I would take the Cowboys, and I really don't think it'll be all that close. I think Jordan Love has been kind of inconsistent this year. He has had some games where he looks pretty good, and then other games where he's not, doesn't take care of the ball very well. So I think Deron Bland gets at least one interception in this game in an important moment, and I honestly don't really think it's going to be that close. Maybe they'll probably win by like 10. That's my guess.
Yeah, and I pretty much agree with that. I agree with that completely.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that Dallas is no reason to lose this game. Do think it would be hilarious. Green Bay won. Definitely put in a bet for Green Bay plus 9.5.
Yeah.
Just because I think on the off chance that Green Bay hits that, I don't want to lose every single bet on the week. So, and plus, there's actually some pretty good odds on that right now. You can give yourself a couple points on Green Bay and kind of get some nice odds. I'm not telling you what to do, but it definitely is out there. So I do think Dallas wins this game. I think it has the potential to be an absolute blowout, but we'll see how Sunday goes.
Yeah, I looked at this one. I mean, Dallas at home, they've been a different animal than Dallas on the road. I just feel like this is Dallas' game. Love, he's had 5, 6, 7 games in a row now, 2 touchdowns in a row. So, I mean, it's not a bad little streak for him. I just don't think Green Bay's defense is going to be able to stop Dallas. I mean, CeeDee Lamb has been playing on another level this season. And I think Dallas gets it done at home. And I don't think this game will be close. Maybe 34-17, 34-14. Yeah, I don't know. I think Love's first playoff game, I think it's just going to be a shell shock there in Dallas. LA at Detroit. I'll go ahead and just start this one. I really like this game. I love the fact that Stafford is going back to Detroit, where he was traded away from. And how fitting would it be he goes into Detroit and gets a win over the Lions? That would be pretty cool. I'm not a big fan of golf. I don't trust golf. So just in that alone, I'm going with the Rams in this one. I think Stafford and Puka and Kupp, they rested Kupp last week, so he should be nice and healthy. Aaron Donald, that defense. I think the Rams get this one done in Detroit.
Mm-hmm. So I went the same way. I took the Rams. They've just been a hot team over the second half of the season. Yes. I mean, they've like you were just saying with Puka. I mean, the guy's just been a godsend for Matthew Stafford. I mean,
what a rookie receiver!
It's just,
holy hell!
Wasn't he a 3rd round pick too?
Yeah, he's just
4th round, 3rd or 4th round.
It's not even close. Any of the other rookies, not even close.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, so I think that Detroit. I mean, they haven't won the division in 30 years.
Congrats for that.
Yeah, that place is going to be fucking rocking.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be.
Excuse my language, but
no, that's going to be wild.
Yeah, it's going to be insane there. But I do think that I think the home crowd might be. I mean, they're not going to be split, but you're going to see a lot of Stafford Lions jerseys.
There is. I don't think they traded him, so I don't think they really hate him.
Exactly. So I just think that he's got the again. it's got the poise in the playoffs. I mean, golf's been in the Super Bowl too, but also with the Rams, coincidentally.
It's like which coach you trust, McVay or do you trust?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just think LA gets the win on the road here. Yeah, and I think that might be the closest game of the week, honestly. Besides maybe Houston, Cleveland.
I think it's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game to watch. So I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah, I honestly was just about to say I think this might be the closest game of the week, and I think it's really interesting that we all took the Rams.
Yeah.
And I think that this game, of all the games this week, and we're going to see it later in the playoffs, absolutely, but this is like the true quarterback versus quarterback matchup. All else not exactly being equal, but you do have studs on both sides of the ball. Amon-Ra has been huge this season. Puka and Kupp has been huge. Sucks that Sam Laporta's not in the game, and I think that is going to be a huge contributing factor to what happens to golf here, where he just kind of goes into old school golf mode and starts kind of check down, instead of this like.
Aaron Donald
I really think I think he does a great job when he had Laporta spreading the ball out a little bit more. So I think not having him, I think the Rams do win this. I like the Rams and the over in this game for sure. I think that the potential of this being a super big shootout is there. And like they both said, it should be a really fun game with Stafford versus Goff.
It's one of the main games I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a night game, right?
It is Sunday night, so they get that prime time.
Yep.
Yeah, I like
Everybody will be half lit by then. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that crowd there. You have to drink it all day.
In Detroit? Yeah.
I know.
Oh, and I think it's going to be, and just like you said, or like both of you said, I think it's going to be a fun game.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's good spirit.
Yeah, if I had unlimited money to spend, I'd fly out to Detroit this weekend to watch it. But I don't.
Yeah, there's two games I said I wanted to see in the playoffs, and that's Cleveland at Baltimore. Could you get Flacco going back?
Yep.
And this game, Stafford going back to Detroit.
It is a cool game.
Those are two things I really want to see happen. I don't know if it will, but
Yeah, so let's we'll touch on the last matchup here, the Monday night. You got the Eagles at Tampa. So I'll start with this one. I mean, this is probably the hardest game for me to pick this week, just because. 6 weeks ago, you would have said a no-brainer. The Eagles probably would have a bye week, you would have thought, but they've stumbled. So, I mean, I'm still going to take them just because of the fact that they're overall the better team. Their play hasn't shown that recently. And Baker Mayfield, I mean, say what you want about him, but he's got them to the playoffs. I mean,
he did.
So, but I can't see the Eagles losing. I don't think it's going to be very. It's not going to be like a shootout or anything like that. Just, again, like in the recent years in the playoffs, they've been there, done that. Not that Tampa hasn't, but that was with a whole different regime there, pretty much. So, but I'm just going to take the Eagles in a close one. Yeah, that's what I took.
Yeah, and I definitely should go Eagles here, given the teams. But I just think with A.J. Brown missing, banged up Jalen Hurts, I don't know if everybody saw that finger, but you should look it up. That's just a weird throwing hand at this point, in my opinion. I don't know if he's going to go out there and throw it like an ogre with like a club hand, but it does just concern me. And I think without Jalen Hurts, that offense just doesn't move. I think Tampa Bay wins it in a really, really tight one, and I think that Baker and Mike Evans go absolutely insane this game. I don't think there's a person on Philadelphia's defense that can cover Mike Evans right now. I think he's absolutely unstoppable and just on a mission again. And we've seen in the past when he's on a mission, he can do it. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay in a close one, but I'm not going to be necessarily surprised.
Yeah, this is probably the game I struggled the most on. I mean, everybody knows I've been probably the biggest Mayfield hater since we've been doing these picks. But I have to give him his props. He did get his team to the playoffs. So for that, congrats to Mayfield. But, gosh, I don't know. I mean, Philly and KC have been like the biggest start hot and then just fizzle out teams of the season. Like, wow. Like, those two teams have just collapsed the second half of the season.
And the Dolphins.
And Dolphins, yeah. Dolphins, too. It's just like, God, I don't know. I just have a hard time thinking Philly's going to go into Tampa and lose, though. But the way they played these last 6 weeks, oh, my gosh. Like,
yeah.
Hurts has just regressed. He's like bottom 15 in the league as a quarterback if you go over these last 6 weeks. Like, he's just played like shit. Not worth the money at this point. God. But all that said, I'm going to take Philly. I think that defense is going to outplay Tampa. I know they met way back in week 3, it was like, 25-11 or something. I think Philly won.
Mm-hmm.
When they started their 10-1 season before going and losing. But the experience, that defense, like, there's too many studs on that team to lose to Tampa and Baker Mayfield. So if that's it, Tampa's probably going to win.
Yep.
But there's too many dogs on that team.
I'm not.
Like,
I think Philadelphia is the better team overall. It's not even really.
Like, I just
Not
can't.
even really close.
I mean, look at all the
I
players
won't be
on that
shocked
team.
if Tampa wins this game, but like I feel like they just gotta. I don't know. I just can't see them losing that game.
Yep. With
With that being said, they probably will.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm taking the Eagles in that one. I know there's a lot of injuries, a lot of concerns, but I don't know.
Everybody being healthy on these two teams, this is not a close matchup.
No.
Or everybody being right on these teams is not a close matchup.
But if the Eagles do lose this game, do they fire Sirianni?
I don't know if they can.
With this kind of a
it's
collapse?
an interesting question.
It is. Like, do they?
You can't move on from hers.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect Vrabel to be fired. I mean, look at that shit.
And
I still feel like he
can't
just
even.
requested
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and I agree with that
know.
because I can't come up with a great reason.
Yeah, especially after just winning that last game.
Yeah, I mean, if anything,
I mean, he got
the Jaguars should have been fired.
Yeah, look at his
exactly.
quarterbacks, and he
He
was
could
still able to win. Like, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. But that's something that we'll talk about next week. Does Sirianni get fired if they lose?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. I would think they'd give him another season, but
Yeah, I mean, you would think so.
The team's too good and too ripe.
yeah.
But like, if they lose, there's a couple of people on that team that you could see retiring.
Yes,
There's
Kelsey.
Fletcher Cox,
Yep.
Kelsey. There's like a couple other people just on that defense that are they brought in as
Yeah.
one year rentals. I don't know if they
Yeah.
signed Kevin Byard, but like
Smith has got to be up for a contract soon,
yeah,
and you just paid Brown, so you can't pay him too.
Yep.
I don't know. A lot of changes could be coming in Philly if they lose this game next year. Oh yeah, that's all we got for the
Yep.
picks.
That'll be pretty much wrap it up. Any closing remarks?
Just enjoy Super
Playoffs.
Wild Card Weekend, man. This is a good time. A lot of football to watch.
Yep.
A lot to digest. Every game's standalone, so just enjoy it.
yeah, that's about it. And come check out the stream.
Check out the breaks. Yeah, Tommy's got some awesome Prizm breaks, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Just come
Absolutely.
check it out.
Go Blue.